When I've been going on or listening to and sitting and listening to like Dean and Parker, it's been like, I understand the actual premise as far as like engaging in a conversation and giving leeway and all this other stuff, and like I get that. I'm not gonna like not give leeway to people. But what I will say is that it like absolutely irritates the ever living you know what out of me when people who are supposed to be there for a debate won't answer questions. Like the guy that Dean and I were talking to yesterday, after we talked to his son, and then we talked to his dad, the guy just like he wouldn't answer questions. That's something that's always drove me insane about like Republicans. Guys, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up. As we get in, we should have as many thumbs ups as we have people watching the live. I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to these little 1 cent gift goals. It'll help push us out to the FYP right now. So love you very much. So if we could knock those out, it would be super, super helpful. Please, guys. Kay. Good morning, Kay. Top of the morning to y'all. Morning, cheesy potato. Good morning, Mirsh Fish. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Rachel. So yeah, like I was saying, the thing that bothers me is, and I understand giving leeway, right? I think leeway is super important, but then like answer a question. Answer a question. There's no reason to dodge and pivot every single question. And the fact is if you have to dodge and pivot every single question, then that just means that your answer is something that you know is fucked. How are we this morning, Kay? The answer that you're going to give is fucked. And if you can't answer a question because the answer to the question is absolutely fucked, then that's a you problem, right? I mean, you know, I love Dean and Parker. Those are my little brothers, but they give so much grace and leeway when it comes to holding people to task with the questions. And sometimes they'll do it, but like for the sake of conversation, they'll give them more grace than I do. And I told them that because you know me, like, no, fuck that. Answer the question. Answer the question. Like, I don't understand. That's something that's always bothered me. That's something that's always bothered me as far as like, I pride myself on being able to answer the questions, even if the questions suck, right? Even if the question is something that I think is like, oh, they're going to try to use this as a gotcha or whatever, right? Even if they plan on using the question as a gotcha, sure, that's fine. But I'm still going to answer the question. And like the thing that I believe in, I stand on it. And so as long as I believe in the thing and I stand on the thing, then I'm going to answer the thing. And Republicans have such a hard time doing that. It's fucking weird. Anyway, that was just my soapbox for a moment because I was just thinking about it. Anyway, guys, tap the screen, send your daily heart me, center your display. No, I won't center the display because as soon as I bring up the account, it's going to shift. I've talked about this multiple times. Don't worry, it'll actually center itself in just a moment. As a matter of fact, depending on what type of device you have now, it's going to be centered, right? Depending on if it's a, Kathy, you keep saying center display. Kathy, did you not hear what I just said? So it depends on what type of device you have, right? So if I center it, because this isn't center for me, but if I center it and then I have people on the panel, then it's gonna like be completely wonky. It's weird. TikTok is like super weird. The studio is super glitchy. Anyway, guys, we're gonna go ahead and get started. If you don't mind, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up. Can we get the likes up to 50,000 likes? Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. Make sure you go back in and collect your points. Right now, the daily gift goal is the love you very much. Can we knock those out, guys? Please, please, please. Can we knock out the love you very much? I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to the little 1 cent gift goals. It will boost the live and push us out to the FYP. And also share the live maybe once or twice. That it's super helpful. But we don't want to spam share. So once or twice is good. But repost the live. Hey, Vivian, repost the live. That's way more important, and that helps way more. So please, please, please repost the live. We're going to go ahead and get started here. If only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Let's go.
You stepped in a box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name.
This ain't
TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey.
Step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
Nope. Nope.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim on your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat.
Hey.
You talk slick, but you ain't got source.
Nope.
Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force.
I'm
test, the trap, the trip, the call.
Hey.
Once I'm snatching it all.
Boom.
Step in if you dare. If you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
Nope. Nope.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script.
One wrong.
Get cooked real quick.
Nope. Nope.
Better know your stuff or you get revealed.
Step in, don't you wanna?
Sparring with Santana. Yeah. This ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame.
It absolutely is.
Wanna sparring with Santana.
Ba-bam. Bum, 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 bum. Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, and guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. If you're a friend, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin to boost live. Hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I voted for Trump, yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And your name is just Jay. Can I call you Jay? Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. All right, Jay. Well, I want to actually have a debate, conversation, something with you. But before we do, if you don't mind, quick question. Also, you got a little bit of background noise. I don't know if there's like a TV or something.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm in the supermarket.
Oh, okay. All right. No worries. Jay, question for you before I go too far. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, I've seen you live a number of times.
Really?
And, yeah, you're a professional athlete fighter, but I really know you as a blogger.
Oh, okay. I don't know why people keep saying that I was a professional fighter. Like that people have said that multiple times. That's not true. I've never been a professional fighter. But
you look like one.
Yeah, well, you know, I've taken lessons and training and stuff, but I've never been a professional fighter. I've never been an amateur fighter. But regardless, all good, Jay. Would you mind if I give you and everyone else a proper introduction to who I am and what this is?
I think I've seen that introduction before, but I just know you as a TikToker.
Oh, good.
But sure, I can listen to it.
All right, perfect. Give me 1 second.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Guys, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. If you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Now, Jay, you are a Trump supporter. And so would you like to actually speak to the prompt about Republicans being mindless, moralist sheep? Or do you want to tell me why you still support Jimothy today? Thank you, Red.
Well, you know, that there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why I'm an echo either.
Oh, give me a second. If you got an echo, then I think I know what it is. 2 seconds. I did a complete reboot of my device this morning, and sometimes it when it loads back in, it'll switch the settings and it'll cause a little bit of an issue. Yep, there it is. Give me a second here, and you should be G to G. Boom, that should fix it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear an echo anymore.
Perfect. So I was saying, would you like to tell me why you still support Donald Jimothy Trump today, or did you want to talk about Republicans being mindless, moralist sheep?
Well, you know, I was thinking about that very question today, and I was listening to a video from Thomas Sankara, who was a leader of Burkina. I'm just learning about it myself. It's an African country, Burkina Faso. He became president. Wait, Thomas Sankara was a revolutionary. Became president in 1983 at 33 years of age, and he was called the African Che Guevara. And what made me think about it was I heard this video. It's 20-second clip why he was declining aid from all these foreign countries, and he said this.
Food aid. Can you tell me why?
The food aid we received, unfortunately, instead of helping us to develop, has kept us in a beggar mentality. Every day, we hold out our hands to ask for food. That is bad. Secondly, food aid means that our farmers who could have...
Hey, Jay, can you tell me where you're going with this? Because, again, I'm trying to understand. The sound's still playing as well. But can you tell me where you're going with this? Because I'm trying to understand how this connects with why you still support Donald Trump today, or the mindless, moralist sheep. Which one are we talking about? The mindless, moralist sheep, or the why you still support Trump?
Well, let me try to connect the dots. So
wait, no. Just clarify for me before you connect the dots. Which part are you talking about?
On why I support Trump.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
So he gives it was like a 40-second clip where he explains to the interviewer that all these countries are giving food aid to his people, and he's saying that it's creating a beggar mentality. He'd much rather see them get like tractors and fertilizer and kind of grow their own food. And it really struck out at me because like I feel like the Democrat Party today is kind of like treating their people kind of like what he's complaining about, which is very complacent, a beggar mentality. How much money can you give? We want this, we want that, we want aid. And
hey, Jay, not to cut you off, but like again, I hear you, but the question isn't what the Democrats are doing or whatever the case may be. Tell me why specifically you support Donald Jimothy Trump today, May the 11th, 2026, and do so without saying Democrats, Biden, or anything about the left, please.
Because he's the only option.
What do you mean?
Because if I don't continue to support Trump, then the only other option is another party option that weakens the people and will try to create complete dependency on the government.
Okay, so you're still talking about the left. Okay, help me understand. Can you tell me what tangible beneficial thing that Donald Trump, the Trump administration, the Republican Party as a whole, what tangible beneficial thing are they doing for the American people today?
I think very importantly, they're changing the culture or reversing the cultural damage that the Democrat Party has caused. But
okay, so there's no actual tangible thing.
Well, I got a tax benefit of, I was able to write off overtime, and I got a couple $1,000s back.
Sure, give me 2 seconds. Sorry, 1 second. Joseph Wilson, you're spamming Trump 2028 martial law in the comment section. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Get up here. I've already muted you for the entire live. Either get up here or you don't get to yip yap from outside of the club anymore. I don't care which one you do, but like you spamming weird shit in the chat is no longer an option. All right, I apologize.
No worries. Like another example that I can give you that I think of, and maybe you'll think it's a dumb example. I don't know.
Please don't say the DUNB board. That's ableist. But again, do you know what the word tangible benefit means?
Yeah, I gave you one, like the tax write-off I got.
No. I didn't say for Jay, which I no offense, Jay, but I don't know you personally, and I don't know what you did or did not get or whatever. I said, can you name one tangible benefit that the Donald Trump, the Trump administration, the Republican Party has provided the American people today? You saying that they're reestablishing a culture, that's not a tangible benefit. I mean, anything that can be quantified by the data and it supports that this is a good thing for all Americans, or all is kind of a tough thing, the majority of Americans.
He claims to have gotten $18 trillion in foreign investments into companies, whereas Biden only got like $3 trillion.
Has that one, can you tell me what's the difference between a commitment versus an actual delivery? And two, how has that tangibly benefited the majority of Americans?
Well, we saw the unemployment numbers, or the employment numbers are twice as good as expected this month. So that's pretty tangible. Unemployment
is still high.
No, the employment numbers, my mistake.
Yeah, but unemployment is still high.
What's it at? 4.3%. Yeah, that's about the average.
Unemployment stood still at 4.3% because Donald Trump only added, I'm just going to round it up and say 112,000 jobs. So unemployment numbers are still 4.3%.
But that was twice the amount of jobs expected.
Yeah, but did you know that in
2025, give him credit where credit's due?
Sure. In 2025, Donald Trump lost 1.2 million jobs. And so far in 2026, he's lost 2 million jobs. But yeah, go off, King.
Well, what jobs did he lose? He's getting rid of government workers. So, ideologically speaking, there are some people that think that hiring millions and millions of government workers, even though we're all paying for them, is a good thing. But ideologically speaking, I disagree with that. And I think I commend them for making the government smaller and bringing in actual more private sector jobs.
Can you tell me where the private sector grew? Because again, if you take a look at the actual employment rate and unemployment, the private sector has not grown. They haven't added jobs to the private sector overall. Again, yes, the public sector, there was an elimination of government jobs, which in my, not just my opinion, but from every economical standpoint, that was just idiotic. But even more so, there has been no growth.
Well, why do you think it's idiotic to get rid of jobs that we all pay for that might not be necessary?
Because if you talk about the quote unquote necessary of the jobs, can you tell me what jobs they cut that were unnecessary?
Yeah, they fired about 70,000 IRS workers.
How's that unnecessary? No.
Why do you need 70,000 more IRS workers?
Sure. Okay. How about this? What was the tangible benefit for the mass amount of hirings of IRS workers?
I think they were after our money.
Whose money?
Your money and my money.
Nope. They weren't after your or my money. I'm not a billionaire. Are you a billionaire or a millionaire?
There's less than 5,000 billionaires in the U.S. What do they need 70,000 additional IRS workers for?
Are you a millionaire or a billionaire?
What if I was?
Just a simple question.
I don't want to answer that question.
Okay. Well, logically speaking, I'm going to say no.
Well, let's say I'm not.
I'm going to say, okay, perfect. So the IRS agents that were hired under the Biden administration not only allowed the IRS to function more proficiently, but they actually were able to collect back taxes on billionaires to the tune of, I think it's like 8 billion. Hold on one second, 8 billion or 9 billion. I'll get you the specific number, but they were able to recoup billions of dollars of unpaid taxes by the 1%, the ultra wealthy. And since Donald Trump has fired those IRS agents, the tax collection burden has now shift from the ultra wealthy to everyday Americans like us. So technically, since Donald Trump has fired those IRS agents, you and I, they've been coming after our taxes more than the ultra wealthy.
Do you know how many billionaires there are in the United States?
Can you please respond to what I said before you say something else?
Yeah, I just feel that we have enough IRS agents to tax the 902 billionaires that exist in the U.S. We don't need 70,000 more IRS agents that are going to cost billions and billions of dollars in taxpayer dollars to fund them to tax 900 billionaires.
Can you, can you address exactly what I just said? Because with the actual hiring of the IRS agents in just 2025, after the passing of the Inflation Reduction Act, they were able to collect $1.3 billion in unpaid taxes from high income individuals, millionaires and billionaires.
I think that fine. They collected $1 billion. That
was just in 1 year.
That's good, but do you know how much hiring 70,000 IRS agents cost? Like,
where did you get that number that Biden hires 70,000? Because I know Trump fired that many, but where did you get that number that it was added?
It was reported.
Reported
where? It was widely reported in all over the news.
Widely reported where?
I think I read that on the New York Times, NPR, different publications.
Yeah. Okay. So looking at the National Treasury Employee Union, it looks like here that they're saying that's misleading information. That's something that people have been saying that is actually incorrect. And so now people are claiming that he hired 85 to 87,000 new agents. But if you look at the National Treasury Employee Union fact checking, one second.
Yeah, it was a 10-year. It was a 10-year goal or something, right?
Yeah. So right. Then see, that's the thing. So even
Santana, the thing I have a problem with is
wait, hold on. Let's address this directly. So even the number that you've been given is a lie because it was a stretch goal. They had a stretch goal of over 10 years hiring 87,000 new IRS agents. And with the amount of time that Biden was in office, they didn't get close to that 87,000. But even with the amount, they had the actual goal set for 2023. That was the goal for 2023. And what they had actually hired since Biden passed the Inflation Reduction Act, they had added 10,000 IRS agents. 10,000. Do you know how many IRS agents were actually fired by Donald Trump?
I think he just scrapped the plan to hire all those agents.
No. He actually fired. He actually fired people. He didn't scrap the plan.
I don't have the exact number, but obviously it wasn't 80,000. It was probably a few thousand.
Yeah. So far, again, Biden added 10,000 IRS agents approximately. And as of April, the Trump administration has fired 27,000 IRS agents. So
good.
And hold on one second. Not only did Donald Trump fire the IRS agents that were added to the government by Biden that collected billions of dollars in unpaid tax debt, Donald Trump fired 17,000 employees that were there prior to Biden hiring them. And now the tax collection burden has shifted back to everyday Americans. So question for you. How is it a good thing that Donald Trump is firing Americans, costing us jobs, and then not only raising taxes on us in the form of tariffs, but collecting more taxes on everyday people instead of the ultra wealthy?
I didn't really understand your question. So you say he's collecting more taxes?
I'll simplify the question. How is it a good thing that Donald Trump has fired Americans while how is it a good thing that Donald Trump has fired Americans while collecting taxes more on everyday Americans?
Well, I mean, you know, the question about firing is a very nuanced question. I mean, a lot of people I knew were fired.
The question isn't about firing. The question is, how is it a good thing that he's firing Americans while also collecting more taxes on everyday Americans? That's the question. How is that a good thing?
I mean, the way you're framing the question, it's probably not a good thing, but I don't know if that's an accurate depiction of what's really happening.
Okay, so you tell me where the breakdown is. So I said, how is it a good thing that he's firing Americans? Now, we've already talked about the unemployment rate being at 4.3%. We talked about the fact that in 2025, there were 1.2 million jobs lost. And so far in 2026, there's been 2 million jobs lost. But specifically talking about the IRS, while there were 10,000 agents added under the Biden administration, Donald Trump has fired 27,000 as of last month. So he has a negative 17,000 IRS agents. And the actual agents that Biden hired yield billions of dollars of unpaid tax debt on millionaires and billionaires. And so since they've been fired, the tax collection has now shifted to everyday Americans, where they're no longer targeting those millionaires and billionaires because they don't have the manpower and resources. They're going after everyday people like you and I, you and me. So those are the nuances for the entire argument. Now, how can you explain that to be a good thing?
Well, first of all, like I said, there's only 1,000 billionaires in the U.S., so certainly the IRS already has.
Where are you getting that number from?
Just a regular search. Just look up how many billionaires in the U.S.
Right. Where are you getting that information from?
The Wall Street Journal, Personal Finance.
You're
2026.
Lying. You're lying. Wall Street Journal, Personal Finance, 2000. You said 2026. Give me a second. I'm gonna. Nope. We're gonna pull that up. Nope. Wait. Wall Street Journal.
Forbes.
Wait, Wall Street Journal. No, okay, Forbes. What is Forbes?
Oh, okay. Let me just get the exact source. Okay,
because Forbes. I got Forbes up right now. That's why I kept saying, where are you getting that from?
Forbes World Billionaire List 2025. 2025, with the picture of Elon Musk as the guy. Wait.
Why are you looking at 2025? Why aren't you looking at World Billionaire List, the richest in 2026?
Because the year's not over yet.
No. Because no. You keep saying that there's only 1,000 billionaires in the U.S. I'm telling you, you're talking about 2025. I'm telling you, Forbes has done the list and they've updated their numbers for the richest. I mean, the billionaires that exist in the United States today.
Oh, okay. I only had the 2025 list.
Okay. So they've updated their actual information and they have the full breakdown on the 2026 list.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
So let's see, the World Billionaire, more than 400. Wait, hold on. Investors made their the U.S. has the most billionaires on record. Okay, actually, you know what? Sorry, you're right. I'll give you that. You're right. Approximately,
so my question
the United States has. Wait, hold on a second. The United States of America has 989 billionaires. Hey, how much money do you think those 989 billionaires are worth?
I don't know, like $10 trillion.
Double it.
Oh, okay, 20. Wow.
So 989 people. 1 second. Let me finish this. 989 people in the United States of America have $20.1 trillion. You don't think that's worth going after the 989 people that have $21 trillion?
Absolutely, but that's why we have 75,000 available IRS workers. Like, well, why do you need more than that?
We didn't have 75,000. I've already disproven you on that one.
No, we had 102,000, but Trump fired 27% of them. Now we have 74,000.
You're saying that we hold on one second. You're saying we have. Let's fact check that. So, no, there was a total. There was a total at the end of 2024 of 90,516 full-time IRS agents. Let's see. Where's this? Let's see if we got the 2026 numbers that's more up to date.
How many? No,
okay.
76,000.
No, the only numbers that's showing from irs.gov, for some reason, even in 2026, the most recent numbers that they've given is 90,516. So that's the
90,000? Maybe they increased it.
No, I'm saying so 90,000. That's the last number they gave. But to be fair, this is only showing from 2024, and right now it's 2026. But even the information that came out in 2026 doesn't show like where their actual numbers are today. So like I will say that this misses any type of ads that we had in 2025. But what I will say is that Donald Trump became president of the United States of America in 2025, January 2025. This is the number as of the end of 2024. So if we take that 90,000, and we subtract the 27,000 that Donald Trump has fired, that leaves us at 63,000 IRS agents.
Santana, my point is that that they make about 100,000 a year, and that's $10 billion a year in taxes that we have to pay. And you said it yourself, they collected only $1 billion. The math
no, I said 1 year, and that's not true.
Yeah.
I actually have to take the average salary for IRS agents in 2026 range between almost about 62,000 to 68,000. So no, they don't make $100,000 a year. So let's say all of them make 68,000 a year, right? All of them. And there is how many did we say there was? 1 second. There's 63,000 of them. If 63,000 of them and they all make 68,000 a year, that is $4.2 billion a year, right? For the government salary. And that's if all of the IRS agents make the maximum amount. Now,
well, some of them make
you were about to say something?
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Guys, while he is taking a moment, I'll say tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It will boost live and push us out to the FYP. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It will help boost live and push us out. W's in the chat as well for, let's see here. W's in the chat for Saint sent a $10 YouTube super chat to say, I work for the IRS as a contractor writing software. The IRS does much more than just tax people. And right now they don't have enough people to manage all the software development, maintenance, etc. Like big facts, big fucking facts. W's in the chat for Deb, who sent a $4.99 super chat to say, Trump alone has over 5,000 tax shelter shell companies. How many do 1,000 billionaires have? And how many IRS agents would it take to find them? That's the point that I've been getting to. Like, that's the heart of the issue. Fucking W's in the chat. W's in the chat for Iman, who sent a $3 donation, said Renee Good covered up the 2014 CBP investigation. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. W's in the chat for Jasmine for the $5 donation, saying, wish me luck today. I have my first TMS treatment for my treatment-resistant depression. I'm so nervous. Keep listening in to keep calm. Jasmine, take a breath, slow down. You got it. You're good. Everything's going to be okay. W's in the chat for Jasmine, guys. W's in the chat for Jasmine. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, guys. If you like to keep tapping the screen, let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes, please. Can we get the likes up to 100,000 likes? Also, we got the daily gift goal. It's the little finger hearts. Can we knock those out? Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. All right, Jay, are you good, or do you still need more time? Oh, guys, I'm about to fry him with what I just verified. Jay, are you still there? Are you still there? You checking out? What are we doing? What are we doing, Jay? Jay, if you can hear me, I just want to let you know I just looked something up, and it's not a good look for you, bub.
Hey, I'm sorry, but I had to take a call. You could talk to someone else in the meanwhile. I should be able to link back in 10 minutes if you want.
Okay. I'll put that in my back pocket. I'll keep it in my back pocket. All right.
Yeah, unfortunately, I still have to be on the phone. So I'll link back in 10 minutes if you like.
Yeah, feel free to come back up. You're more than welcome. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up. You're still here. If you are you staying up here? What are we doing, Jay? Are you staying up here, or I thought you was gonna drop? Let's keep them here. See what happens. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates.
Hi,
are you?
Like noodles all over the rug in the kitchen, and they're like dry and stuck to it.
I do not think they meant to come up. I do not think they meant to come up. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. What the fuck is happening down there? Apparently your mom's not like me, asking questions. Why I guess supports hurting kids. That's strange. Yeah, I think your premise of like what questions are or aren't, like, I just want to make sure I say this for anyone that's in the comment section that's going back and forth with my mods, especially if you call yourself a friendly, especially if you're someone that partakes in the space and the community and all this other stuff. I don't know how many times that I have to say this, but the mods are an extension of me. Like, I just want to be super clear about that. My mods are an extension of me. And since my mods are an extension of me, if my mods are saying, hey, don't do A, B, and C, then that means don't do A, B, and C. Like, seriously, my mods, they understand how things work in our space, in our live, in our community. And if my mods are saying don't do A, B, and C, and you're doing A, B, and C, like, they're going to mute you. There's a possibility they're going to block you. But if I see it, I'm a lot less kind than the mods, because like, I know what they're doing and I see the back and forth. So I'm telling you, like, my mods are an extension of me. Stop it. Please and thank you. Thank you kindly for your attention, President DJT. No. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly and you'd like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you is the best way to support the live. Just like Lisa. Lisa sent a $5 donation, said, hey, Santana, keep enlightening the masses. Listen, I'm going to try to do so. W's in the chat for Lisa. Or if you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Also, guys, just an FYI. So I'm going to be doing some traveling this week. Myself and management are actually traveling tomorrow. And this week is going to be kind of wonky because I got some really cool shit that's happening. And so my live schedule will be kind of wonky. I'm going to see if we can get a crossover live this week as well. But, you know, it'll be kind of in and out. That's why we're not having late nights this week. But we will be back with an amazing topic next week for late nights. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be awesome. But anyway, I say all that to say I might not be on my normal schedule as far as going lives, and you're not going to see late nights this week, but you'll see other stuff. But anywho, if you would like to support the travel, because we are paying for all of the travel and everything that we do out of pocket, but it's worth it. I promise you it's going to be really worth it. As soon as I can tell you guys what it is, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Speaking of YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and even Kick. What up, Kick? If you'd like to join the live, hey, that was in chat for Peach for the, what up, Peach? Fat Peach. Hey, Peach, for the furry friends. If you are over on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, and you like to debate me, guess what? You do not have to leave your safe space. The only thing that you have to do is click that link that's in the pinned message, or even you can actually check out what I just dropped in the comment section, because I dropped the link in the comment section. So there's that. Again, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. And if you are new here, for the people, the trolls that don't know, people like Fig Folly, who has 1 follower and you're following 4 people. Guess what, Fig Folly? You can sit here and you can try to run. I can still see your account. You can run. I can still see your account. I'm still going to block your account. I have no interest in you guys coming in here on your burner accounts, your spam accounts, your quote unquote backup accounts where you follow 1 person and you got 4 followers, because you know what? You guys are just going to come in here and slur and then crash the fuck out. And you know what? Ever since I've been doing this, I got a pretty good track record of random people not being able to come up to call me the N-word. So Fig Folly, I'm going to go ahead and block you. Boop, boop. Come back with your main account. And that's for any and every troll that's listening. If you come up here and you have your spam account, if you have your backup account that you use to just crash the fuck out, guess what? You're not going to do that here. You're not going to do that here. I'm smarter than you, and I figured out the stupid shit that you like to do, and I'm not going to let you do it. Not going to let you do it. Hey, W's in chat for Galaxy. Thank you so much for the heart hands. Anywho, we got Jay up here, and Jay had to take a little bit of a reprieve. He said he had to take a call. I'm sure that he's probably trying to get his Googles together, which is all good. Like, hopefully he'll be able to figure some stuff out. I don't know. Deb's in the chat for Darius for the $1 donation, saying, assuming the IRS agents only tax people with 30 million Americans and 67,000 agents, that's 1 agent for every 52,000 people. It's insane to think enough to tax everyday Americans and not the ultra wealthy. Wait till you guys hear this information that I'm about to get ready to bonk him upside the head with. Wait until you guys hear the shit that I found while we were waiting. But I'm not going to say it because we're going to hold. W's in the chat for Darius. Again, guys, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Only the host can have alternate account up. Rules for thee, not for thee. So Don, this isn't about an alternate account. I'm going to send you a request. Boom. Look. I unmuted you. Boom. Don, the Pats fan. It's not about having an alternate account up, you donut. It's about people who come in here on burner accounts. And they come in here on burner accounts because they're cowards. They hide their faces, they hide their names, they come in here and they say all the shit that they would never say with their chest. And so my stance is, I don't give a fuck about what you say. I genuinely don't. Like, you can actually say whatever you want to say. I genuinely mean that. You can say whatever you want to say. You just got to say it with your chest. And if you get to a point of saying like some really egregious shit, you got to turn on your camera. So I don't care what you do, but you're going to stand on business. You're not going to hide. Jay, are you back?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jay, would you like for me to share the information with you that I found, or did you want to try to pick up where you were?
I mean, look, I think what the conversations about IRS workers, and I'm not comfortable with hiring 70, 80,000 additional IRS workers at the cost of $10 billion a year.
That's not true. We've already, hold on. You're wrong. You're trying to muddy the waters. Let me make this clear. And then maybe.
Wait, how am I wrong? How am I wrong?
You're wrong on multiple things. I'm about to clear the water. So let me get this statement out. And then I think it's going to change the shit that you're about to say, because I promise you're going to be like, oops, maybe I shouldn't say what I'm about to say. Perfect. So we've already established that there is about 63,000 IRS agents. Their average salary ranges from about $62,000 a year to $68,000 a year. And let's say everyone gets the $68,000. With that comes up to about 4.28. We'll just round it up, say $4.3 billion a year. That's how much it costs, right? And with the IRS agents, which we pay those IRS agents a total of $4.3 billion a year, IRS agents collect roughly, and now this is from irs.gov, and then it's also supported from places like the PGP Foundation, and also the United States Treasury fiscal data. But the IRS agents collect on average roughly $120.2 billion a year just on back taxes, not taxes, back taxes. $120.2 billion on back taxes. Additionally, they collect about $3.2 billion in delinquent tax returns, which in total they collect $5.1 trillion a year in taxes. So again, tell me how the IRS agents that make 68,000 and total 4.3 billion, that's collecting 120.2 billion in unpaid taxes, additional 3.2 billion in delinquent taxes, 5.1 trillion in yearly taxes. And there was an initiative where hiring more agents allowed them to collect more delinquent taxes from the millionaires and billionaires. But now, since Donald Trump has fired 27,000, having a negative 17,000 IRS agents, is now collecting less from the millionaires and billionaires and collecting more from the everyday Americans. How's that a good thing?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a good thing or not, but I'm looking at the salaries of the IRS agents, and it says entry level is 40 to 60, but mid level is 80 up to 85, and the attorneys, managers, and specialists 90 to 130,000. So
yeah. No, hold on.
They don't make 40,000 a year.
No, I didn't say anything about 40,000. And so you're like, you started naming off different positions, different levels, and all this other stuff. The point that I made, I said that for IRS agents, and there's a difference between agents, lawyers, management, all this other. The agents are the people that actually do the work. They're the frontline employees. And the amount that I gave you was an average of 61 or 62,000 to 68,000 a year. So that's not saying that there can't be people that make more than 68,000. And that's also not saying that there can't be people make less than 62,000. But the average range for IRS agent for those 63,000 agents is anywhere from 62 to 68,000.
Well, I took it as the average salary. You can, since some of the more senior and managers make up to 130,000. My math was the average is 100,000.
Wait, you did the math?
Yeah, because
why would you do the math instead of actually looking up the number?
I'm looking it up, and some of the top guys make 130,000. So why? No.
You're doing the average. I'm not. You're saying that your math is doing the average. I'm actually looking at. There's multiple sources that have done the complete statistical breakdown for us, including the IRS, who's done that. Franklin University did a complete study on the actual career field for the IRS, and they confirmed it. Glassdoor and also ZipRecruiter have done studies and published how much IRS agents have made. And so this is where I'm getting the information to confirm. I'm not sitting here saying, well, this is the average that I came up with. I'm literally just pulling the information from the people that have not only access to the range numbers, but the actual studies behind all of the numbers for the agents. How does that make sense to you? If you're sitting here saying my average, and I'm telling you that there's people who have completed studies and published the information on this.
Okay, look, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. I'm not in the IRS, but when I saw that the average, the low end was 40 to 60, but the high end was 90 to 130, I just said, okay, 80,000 new IRS workers is going to cost the U.S. taxpayer $8 billion a year. Yeah. So I was like, hey, that's a lot of money. And
you're wrong.
They get better benefits than your.
Jay, can you admit that you're wrong?
I mean, no, I don't think I'm wrong. I think that the average is
perfect. Perfect. Give me a source that proves what you said.
How am I wrong if the top earners make 130,000 and the bottom earners make?
Give me a source that proves what you said, because I cited the fact that the IRS itself has published this information, along with the fact that Franklin University did a study on this that talked about how much IRS agents made, and also Glassdoor and ZipRecruiter also published not only the information around the IRS agents, but studies showing how much that they make. So these are one government source, the IRS itself, one university that did the study on this, and then two of the most reputable job hiring, not only job hiring, but job hiring and job reviewing entities that we have in the US. So I'm citing like sources from places that actually know the information. You're telling me the quick math that you just did.
Yeah. So, and also, okay, fine. You don't want to agree with my math?
No. I need you to either concede that you were wrong on the number or give me something that proves what you said.
Let me just investigate that for another 2 minutes. I'll go on ChatGPT. Give me a minute.
All right, yeah, you go ahead and chat it up. W's in the chat for Bill for the $1 donation. Santana, I don't know if you know this, but according to MAGA now, there's immigration warrants. LOL. MAGA says the darndest things. W's in the chat for Zumba for the $4.99 super chat to say, I personally think if millionaires and billionaires paid 100% of the taxes that they're supposed to pay, we will pay off more of the national debt. And I could be wrong. No, you're right. Because if you look at proportionally the amount of that billionaires actually pay, it's gross. It's gross. Looking at Jeff Bezos, I talked about this with Jeff Bezos. In 2024, he paid $2.4 billion in taxes, but equivalent to his net worth. That's like someone who makes $100,000 a year paying only $3,000 total dollars in taxes. Think about that. Think about that. If you made $100,000 and you were able to bring home $97,000, that's what this is equivalent to. So the idea that like billionaires pay a load of taxes or something, that's just not true. But two, the whole point of that shows that if they just actually did their part, like we could not only fund social safety nets, we could address our national debt, we could do a shit ton. Now, one other thing that I want to throw at you guys, and I was going to actually
Santana.
Yep.
You were right. I was wrong. Kill me. No, I'm sorry.
No, don't say that.
Okay,
We're on TikTok Live. Give me 1 second. Let me land this quick plane that I was just about to share with the chat. So to round out that point, guys, talking about what the actual taxes and debt and all this other stuff, I thought this was super interesting. This just happened. The United States of America is now paying more interest on its national debt than the amount of money that we're paying for the military. This is the first time ever in United States history where it crossed the threshold where we're paying more on interest for our national debt than we're even paying for our military, which that's $1 trillion. And they're trying to raise it to $1.5 trillion. And that's because of the trillions of dollars that the Republicans have added to the national debt. Is it happening right now? Wait, are you guys, hold on, stay on mute for me just for a second, Jay. Wait, are you guys hearing something in my mic? Okay, are you still hearing it? Still popping? Okay, give me a second. Okay, is this any better? Okay, let me know. Let me know if it's gone. Okay, perfect. So just to land that plane, we're now spending more on interest on our national debt, more than we actually pay on military defense. So yeah, that's that. W's in the chat for Ashley for the $5 Canadian super chat to say, I really respect your composure through these debates / conversation. I'm literally at work cursing out my phone. This guy's not even terrible. Yeah, you know, I do that sometimes as well when I'm listening to people and I start crashing out because sometimes the people are so ridiculous, but he hasn't been bad at all. W's in the chat again. If anyone would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. All right, Jay, you were saying, you know, you were wrong. Cool, we can move on. So
basically, you're correct that the IRS agents themselves are in the $60,000-$70,000 range. I made a mistake by counting the lawyers, the specialists, the attorneys, the managers, and all the other people in between, and then I average it. I don't really know what the average is, but my other question is, you know, if the U.S. is collecting $5.5 trillion,
5.1.
What do we need? Yeah, why do we need so much more money than that? Like, isn't that enough money? Like, why do they need more and more and more money?
What are you talking about?
Why does the U.S. government need trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars to operate? And I think the answer is because they hire too many people and it's not necessary. And it comes out of your pocket and my pocket.
You see what's on the screen?
Right, and the reason why we have all this national debt
why we need trillions and trillions of dollars?
Because we waste trillions and trillions of dollars.
Hey, what was the actual thing? There's been 2 pieces of legislation that were passed that added trillions of dollars to the national debt and spiked it to the record high level. What were those 2 pieces of legislations?
Well, I don't know all of them, but I know the Inflation Reduction Act put $400 billion into environmental.
Sure, the Inflation Reduction Act was deficit reducing. What's the 2 pieces of legislation that was passed that spiked the national debt?
How was the Inflation Reduction Act deficit reducing?
It's overall, it's a deficit reduction. It reduced the deficit. We'll talk about that in a minute. I need you to answer my question directly. Don't pivot off of that. What are the 2 pieces of legislation in recent U.S. history that spiked the national deficit, including shooting it past the all-time high?
And there's been thousands and thousands of bills
Sure,
and
there's
budgets.
two.
Like,
There's
which one are
two
you talking
specific
about?
pieces of legislation that's been passed within recent history. I'll give you a hint. It's happened within the last 3 administrations, and yes, the BBB is one. Sure. What's the other one?
You tell me.
TCJA. TCJA and the One Big Beautiful Bill have added trillions of dollars to our national deficit. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump has added more to the national debt than any president in modern U.S. history. So when you talk about why we need to actually collect money, or why the why the United States needs to collect more, well, it's because one, Republicans keeps giving like these massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires, causing the largest wealth transfer in United States history. But also two, they keep funding the fucking military more than anything else, more than education, more than healthcare, more than housing. They continue to pump money into the military and then demand more money for the military. So if you want to talk about why there's a need to collect more, well, hell, we don't have to actually collect more. Let's just stop giving millionaires and billionaires tax cuts and making American citizens pay for it. And also, let's stop giving money to the military industrial complex and invest in our people.
See, Santana, I myself will never vote for a political leader that thinks that tries to get everybody pumped up against taxing millionaires and billionaires like that's going to solve our problems. I think that a politician that espouses that kind of rhetoric is BSing all of us, and that doesn't impress me at all.
I hear you. You shouldn't be impressed by that. Like, that makes no sense for you to be impressed by that. What you should be impressed by is if a politician not only runs on the idea of taxing millionaires and billionaires adequately, but at the same time improving social safety nets and doing an audit and reallocating funds to reduce wasteful spending. The premise that Donald Trump and Elon Musk had Doge, and going in. One, they have barely any savings, but then more than that, did you hear about the court case that was just actually found when it comes to Doge?
No.
1 second here. All right.
By the way, the Inflation Reduction Act was a $737 billion bill. And
yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. Like I said, I stand on my statement that I made. But so this comes from Reuters. U.S. judge rules that humanity grants termination by Doge were unlawful and discriminatory. The actual they took Doge was taken to court. They did the testifying and everything. There was a termination of 1,400 grants and over $100 million that was actually cut. And the $100 million that were cut, found by District Judge Colleen McMillan, said the government engaged in blatant viewpoint discrimination. They use software to completely target any type of wording that was quote unquote DEI. They were looking for words that for grants that included race, ethnicity, Black, Asian, Latino, Indigenous. They also used any type of words that said anything about religion, any type of thing about sex, sexual orientation, all of those types of things, and any type of grants that were connected to anything that they perceived to be quote unquote DEI, they eliminated without any type of review. So when you talk about the fact that you said, oh, what should you be impressed with? You should be impressed with not only an actual person that's going to run on taxing the millionaires and billionaires, but someone who is going to attack waste, fraud, and abuse, and do it based on waste, fraud, and abuse, and not people who are marginalized. Like that's what you should be impressed by.
So are you okay with that, the Trump administration going after the fraud that's going on in Minnesota? And
they're not going after it.
So there's no fraud going on in Minnesota.
No,
right?
they're not going after. When did the fraud investigation start that was happening in Minnesota?
Well, I don't have that exact date.
It started on the Biden administration. When did the vast majority of the fraud allegations and fraud that occurred within Minnesota, when was the actual people brought to justice?
I think they're building the case. They're still working on it, no?
Nope. The majority of the fraud that occurred in Minnesota, they had completely brought people in justice under the Biden administration. Now, what Donald Trump has done is republicize the cases that were started and even completed under the Biden administration, and the few cases that were already active, they have continued to push those to the forefront and say, look, ooh, this is happening, where they haven't actually brought any tangible new fraud cases under the Trump administration. Those cases started under the Biden administration. Most of them ended under the Biden administration because they were held accountable. And the ones that did not end, Donald Trump is just saying, like, look what we got. So, yeah, they're not doing anything.
But didn't Tim Walz threaten all these whistleblowers that were talking about the fraud and stuff like that?
Nope.
There were a lot of accusations.
Tim Walz completely complied with the investigation, has given testimony, has given transparency, and has allowed the people that committed the fraud to be brought to justice. So, like, you can sit here and say, well, this, that. No, like, he's literally made sure that any fraud that occurred, the people were held accountable. Now, when you talk about Jimothy, Donald Trump has actually pardoned. Donald Trump has pardoned so many people that have frauded the American citizens that it's been a loss of about $1.2 trillion $1.2 trillion in restitution. Donald Trump has said that fraud is okay, and the people that have frauded about 1.2 trillion from American citizens, Donald Trump said, nah, we're good. How do you feel about that?
I guess bad.
So we would have more issues with Donald Trump pardoning people who've been found guilty of fraud and to the tune of about $1.2 trillion. We would be more worried about that, right?
I'm worried about everything.
No. Which one do you think is more pertinent? The quote unquote fraud that has already been found, litigated, and for the majority of the cases have been punished, where there's a few open cases still left, or the fact that the president of the United States of America keeps pardoning people that have defrauded American citizens to the tune of about $1.2 trillion?
Well, a lot of the people that get pardoned, there's usually backstories, and it's not so cut and dry.
Okay, so we don't care about fraud anymore now. I'm sorry?
You care about fraud. And by the way, who did Tim Walz actually prosecute and throw in jail? Just curious.
Tim Walz didn't prosecute and throw people in jail. That's not how it works. Tim Walz is the governor. He actually participated in the investigation as far as giving testimony and transparency. The DA is the people that prosecuted and put people in jail. Like, that's how it works. Just like Donald Trump doesn't prosecute or put anyone in jail. But you know what Donald Trump does? Donald Trump actually pardons people that have defrauded the United States citizens to the tune of $1.2 trillion. Hey, why are you good with Donald Trump actually giving pardons to people who've defrauded the United States citizens to the tune of $1.2 trillion?
It's hard to know what to believe, my friend. But one thing I do.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? It's hard to know what to believe.
The Democrats make accusations.
Wait, no. Answer that question. What does that mean? You said it's hard to know what to believe. What do you mean?
Like, I believe, like, for example, Trump pardoned somebody that was like a rug dealer or something like that, right? Like some famous big bad rug dealer, but it turned out to be a huge backstory behind that. And there's backstories behind all these pardons.
Wait, what's the backstory?
Everything that you hear. I don't remember. I read about it and I was like, oh, that's what happened. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I got you. Listen, let me give you the backstory. On December 1st, 2025, Donald Jimothy Trump, Jimothy is his middle name, pardoned the former president of Honduras. the former president of Honduras, who was given 45 years in prison for trafficking 400 tons of booger sugar into the U.S. 400 tons of booger sugar into the U.S. Hey, why are you good with Donald Trump pardoning someone who brought so much drugs into the United States of America? Why is that okay? That Donald Trump is literally saying like, oh, this guy brought this much booger sugar into our country, but I'm good with it. I'm going to let him out.
Well, okay, the story is that he moved 400 tons of
booger sugar.
Of the white booger sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And so Trump pardoned him, but yeah, I don't really know what the backstory behind that was. Maybe it's hard to know. I don't know.
Well, the backstory is that he did it. He was brought to court. He was given a fair trial, and he was convicted, and he was given 45 years. But you know who actually advocated for him?
Trump.
Nope, Roger Stone. Roger Stone advocated directly to Donald Trump that he was, quote unquote, unfairly treated. And he said that it was a quote unquote setup from the Biden administration. And so Roger Stone sent a letter to Donald Trump talking about the former president of Honduras. And that influenced Donald Trump. The fact that Roger Stone was saying it, the fact that he said that they were treated unfairly and harshly, and the fact that he said it was set up about from the Biden administration. What about Biden? That gave Donald Trump that put the battery in his back to pardon someone who brought 400 tons of booger sugar into the United States. Also, hey, FYI, it wasn't just booger sugar. He also brought guns and stuff into the country as well. But the booger sugar is a big deal.
The backstory was the witnesses themselves who convicted him were drug traffickers that were heavily politically entrenched, and
no, they weren't politically entrenched. That statement's not true.
Kind of like over there.
Can you admit that statement? That last piece that you added on was not true.
Well, they have like a Trump and they have like a left and a right over there as well. And
it doesn't matter. Sure, every single any type of governmental systems. There's conservatives, there's progressives, all of that. What up, Nisa? W's in the chat. There's different people that fall politically or whatever. I don't care that you're saying that they were drug traffickers as well that actually flipped on. Yeah, I actually trust them more. I literally trust them more because they were inside of the actual operation, and they have more to lose. They're willing to sacrifice the big dog to save their skin.
They were getting paid they were getting kickbacks to prosecute, and they like
Can you
this
prove
country
it?
they ever.
Can you prove it?
That's the backstory. I can't.
No. Can you
can't
prove that
anything you're saying either?
Oh no, I can prove everything that I just said. Tell me what I can't prove.
I don't think so.
Tell me what I can't prove.
I mean. You just said I believe.
No. Be specific. Tell me what I can't prove.
You just said I trust the drug traffickers that they were because they have a lot to lose. That's your gut feeling.
No. That statement is based off of my trust. But the statements that I made, as far as the incentive, as far as them getting a lesser sentence in order to flip on him, I can prove that. The fact that he received a fair case and he was sentenced, I can prove that. The fact that he brought in 400 tons of booger sugar and guns, I can prove that. The fact that Roger Stone specifically advocated for him and wrote Donald Trump a letter, I can prove that. So just because I say that I trust them more because they had more to lose, that's not something that's prove you trust you. So you're saying you want me to prove that I trust them? No. I said, can you prove that they were getting kickbacks? There's a difference between saying they were getting kickbacks and then saying I trust them because they have something to lose.
Look, I think I myself wouldn't trust.
I don't care about the trust. Can you prove that they were getting kickbacks?
Nobody can prove nothing because none of us were there. Okay, you can't prove anything. You're just going by your feelings.
No. Tell me what I can't prove.
I'll tell you what you can easily prove.
No. I don't want to know what I can. Out of the things that I've said about this case, hey, Jay, out of the things that I've said about this case, you said I can't prove the stuff that I said. Tell me what I cannot prove.
You cannot prove that this was a straight trial.
Okay.
And it was done without corruption.
When did I say it was a quote unquote straight trial? I said that they went to court, the evidence was laid out, they were given their day in court, and they lost and was sentenced. Is that not true?
Yeah, that's accurate. That's a fact, right?
Okay. I've never once said that, oh, I think the justice system is the most no, I understand how the justice system disproportionately affects marginalized communities, Black people specifically. But the one thing that I do know is the more money that you have, the more protection that you do have. And this guy was the former president of Honduras, who not only had money, but had political status and more likely to receive the protections that the justice system doesn't afford everyday Americans. So I don't care about you saying, oh, they were biased. No. The only thing that I know, I only speak on the facts. And the facts are that he went to court. They laid out the evidence. He was found guilty. He was sentenced for 45 years. That's all I'm speaking to.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they did the same thing to Trump and convicted him of 34 felonies.
And he committed the crime. But can you answer? Yeah, can you get back to? That's fine. Can you answer the question? Can you show me proof that they were getting kickbacks, or can you admit that you are wrong, and then we can move off the point? You either got to concede or show receipts. I don't care which one.
I can't prove that they were getting kickbacks, but
okay, so you're conceding that you're wrong.
I'm conceding. Well, okay, fine. I'll give you that. I'll say I'm wrong, but I myself don't trust testimony from narco. Terror,
and I myself don't trust the criminal justice system. So but we're not talking about our personal fees. We're talking about it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. We both don't trust the criminal justice system.
No.
So neither one of us do.
This guy was probably convicted.
No, I don't care. Wait, Jay, I don't care about your speculation. I don't care about your speculation because I'm not speculating. I don't want your speculation because I'm not speculating. The only thing that we're talking about is the shit that we can prove.
We can't prove nothing.
We can prove that he went to court, that the evidence was laid out, that he was found guilty, and that he was sentenced to 45 years, and Donald Trump pardoned him. We can prove all of those things.
Yeah, that's cool. We can, and that's true. So that's not what we're arguing about.
No, yeah, that's literally what we were arguing about. Really what we were arguing about, you were talking about the actual fraud and all this other stuff. And I pointed out to you how Donald Trump doesn't care about fraud. And then you said, oh, there's got to be some backstories in some of these cases, like the person that he pardoned that was the president. And then I laid out all the facts and the information as far as why he was actually convicted, why he was sentenced, what he did, and then what events occurred in leading up to Donald Trump actually pardoning him. So what we were arguing about is the fact that you tried to virtue signal and say that what's happening in Minnesota is a bad thing and Trump really cares. And I'm sitting here telling you that Trump hasn't done shit for Minnesota. There was more done under the Biden administration when it comes to fraud in Minnesota. And even more so, Donald Trump has pardoned people to the tune of $1.2 trillion of people that have defrauded American citizens, so they will not be receiving that restitution. So, hey, again, can you tell me why it's a good thing that Donald Trump is pardoning people that's frauding the American citizens to the tune of $1.2 trillion?
Look, I know that that's what you're stuck on. So just for the purposes of this argument, I'll say, yeah, it's terrible and it's a bad thing. But, I thought that putting $400 billion into with the Inflation Reduction Act into climate change was also defrauding the American people.
How so?
I don't care whether Trump.
How so?
I don't care whether Trump cares
how
or
so?
not about. I don't care whether Trump.
No. How so? Please don't make that statement. No, please don't make that statement and then try to cover it up and run from other stuff. How is it fraud that $400 billion of investment into renewable energy is defrauding the American citizens?
Because where did the money go? Can you tell me?
You want to know where the money went for the
where did it go? Where did the $400 million go?
Okay, so you're talking about the
$400 billion. $400 billion.
Okay, $400 billion, and you said that's for
where
climate?
Did it go? Okay, so the
Hold
Inflation
on, no,
Reduction
Jay.
Act.
I want to make sure that I have your claim right, because I promise you're saying this shit wrong. I'm trying to get you to repeat it so I can nail you down. And I'm just telling you, the shit that you're saying already is wrong. I'm going to dog walk you on this point. You might want to actually figure out what you're trying to say. I'll give you a clue. You're not even talking about the right piece of legislation.
The Inflation Reduction Act.
You're not even talking about the piece. If you're talking about renewable energy, hey Nisa, that is in the chat for Nisa. If you're talking about renewable energy and you're talking about the actual money that was invested into renewable energy, you don't want to look at the Inflation Reduction Act. You want to look at another piece of legislation. But if you want to go to the Inflation Reduction Act, we can go and see what the investments were in that. I'm trying to give you a lifeline here. You're looking at the wrong legislation.
Correct me if there's something I'm missing. The Inflation Reduction Act was an $825 billion piece of legislation. Some say $1 trillion. 400 billion of it, 370 to 390 went to climate and energy section alone. Where did the money go?
Okay, so let's look at the Inflation Reduction Act and then the actual initiatives that were put into renewable energy. So with the Inflation Reduction Act, $370 billion were provision for clean energy, emissions reduction, and environmental resilience. This was to reduce the gas house emissions by 33%. From 33 to by 33% to 40% by 2023. I'm sorry, not 2023, 2030. Holy shit, 2030. So just to make sure that I have this clear, you do understand that the allocations that for the Inflation Reduction Act for the renewable energy, the $370 billion had a planned provision for targeted payoffs by 2030. You understand that, right?
No. What does that mean?
That means the $370 billion that was invested into projects through loan incentives, through grants, through energy initiatives, through electric vehicles, incentives for manufacturing. All of those things were allocated with a payoff time of 2030. The target was to invest $370 billion in 2022, and by 2030, we would be able to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from anywhere to 33 to 40%, which would have been
how's that working out?
Hold on, which would have been lower than what we had in 2005. I just want to make sure that you understand that was what the target was. So do you understand that?
In theory, yeah.
Okay, perfect. So as long as you understand that's what the target of the allocations were for. Now, the actual Inflation Reduction Act was passed in 2022. It went into place and people started receiving those funds in 2023. Can you tell me what year we're in right now?
26.
Okay. So 2026, we're at the beginning of 2026. We're out of Q1, but we're still towards the beginning of 2026. So would it be fair? Is it okay if you and I say that so far they've had about 2 years to do stuff? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So with the allocations that have been provisioned over the 2 years, they've already invested in a multitude of things, including solar, wind, and waste and geothermal actual energy, right? And this is FYI, this is before Donald Trump actually cut off those things. And for anyone that's wondering where I'm getting this information from, you can look at the EPA, right, which is the United States Environmental Protection Agency. And it takes a look at the summary of Inflation Reduction Act provisions related to renewable energy. And so what it talks about is not only that we see a massive growth in renewable and clean energy due to those actual incentives that were placed by the Inflation Reduction Act, we were on track to be able to produce more clean energy and reduce greenhouse gas emissions to a higher rate than originally targeted through the Inflation Reduction Act. They're saying that if we would have stayed on track, then we would have exceeded the goal that was set out with allocating that $370 billion, which the target end date was 2030. We were already doing better than we expected.
Honestly, I like the stuff that the Honduran president was putting into the U.S. more than inflation.
I don't care what you are trying to pivot to. Can you answer what I'm saying or respond to what I'm saying? You're saying what happened and where did the money go? I told you that it's $370 billion that was provisioned to actually yield results in 2030. And after 2 years, not only were there massive investments and strides made in multiple sectors of clean energy, but we were on track to exceed the 40% reduction of emissions that was targeted by 2030. Can you tell me how that's a bad thing, that not only was the Inflation Reduction Act, the provisions were set aside for the renewable energy, but we were outperforming the money that was allocated and the time that was allocated?
Well, who made these claims that we were on track?
The EPA. The United States Environmental Protection Agency did a summary of the actual provisions that were provided in the provisions that were put into the Inflation Reduction Act.
Santana, I got a quick call. Give me 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'll stay on.
Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you are friendly and you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on the YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. There's a lot of people in the request, and besides their names, I see the word fan. If you're in the request, take a look down at the bottom of the screen. If you see a pink and blue person, you're good. You're good. If you see a gray person, that means you're in the request. Hey, thank you for the heart hands. You're in the request, you're here, and you're ready to debate. So please make sure that if you're a friendly who does not, you didn't mean to be in the request, go ahead and drop out of the request, because I see multiple people that have the word fan beside their name, which means that they watch the live a lot. So people like Arya's my baby, people like Frodo, and people like Pizza Roshi. I think it's Pizza Roshi. All three of you are in the request and you have the fan besides your name. So if you're in the request, Frodo, shouts out to Ari. Ari dropped out, but Frodo and Pizza Roshi, you have the word fan besides your name. If you are not in the request to debate something on the background, or if you disagree, go ahead and get out of the request right now. I don't know if this person's going to load. Johnny I'm going to go ahead and drop you. If you are still here and you want to request back up, you can do so, and we'll get you in here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Yeah, I'm anti-communist completely. Yeah, so I voted for Trump.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, the other party represents socialism, communists completely. They turned themselves into communists now.
Sure. Can you give me one member of the Democratic Party that's a socialist or a communist?
Communist? Yeah. Karen Bass.
Who is Karen Bass? You mean from, wait, you talking about Karen Bass from Tiger King?
No, from the mayor of LA, sir.
Hey, you're fucking lying. She's not a communist, but I thought you were talking about, Karen Bass from Tiger King.
Do you want me to explain why she's a communist?
No, I don't, but I want you to answer my question first. You remember Karen Bass from Tiger King?
Cuba and worked under Fidel Castro.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, do you remember the Karen Bass from Tiger King?
Now you're pivoting.
No, it's fine. I just want you to answer my question first. You remember Karen Bass?
There's a Democrat that's a communist right now that's running. That's a mayor.
Hey, lock in, Bobo. You remember Karen Vasquez? Oh, okay, my bad. Karen Vasquez from Tiger King.
Karen
All right,
Bass.
Yeah, no, I was talking about Karen Bass.
Your red hat is way too tight, brother.
I know, I hear you. You're like crashing in. That's fine.
Yeah, maybe you should lose a little bit more weight.
I know. Maybe you should lose a little bit more weight. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I legitimately, hey, shh. You're crashing in, and I have no interest in that. I need you to be an adult. I need you to have, shh, wait for it. I need you to have some impulse control. And if you're going out to report, I'm just going to fucking block you because you're being weird. Don't be weird and a coward. Only cowards run a report.
Bass, hurry
hey, up. No. You're trying to crash in and you're trying to be weird and report. Hey, guess what, Bub? I see when you report and it doesn't get me taken down. Shh, that's what you were doing just now. Now,
you're an idiot.
Shh, it's okay. I want to have a conversation with you, but I need you to not like crash in. Okay. So let's talk about it. Okay. Stop. Have impulse control. Let me finish what I'm saying. Stop coming off mute. I'm going to finish what I'm saying.
You can't mute in real life.
Shh. Can I please finish what I'm saying? You're crashing in. Holy smokes. Okay. So the question that I have for you, you said the Democratic Party represents communists and socialists. And I said, can you name a member of the Democratic Party that's registered
Karen Bass, I already did.
I said, can you name a person that's registered as a Democrat? I'm sorry, it's a socialist or a communist. So I'm going to look up
Karen Bass.
I'm going to.
That. Why are you so
going? Shh. I don't understand what's happening with your emotional regulations. Maybe your tighty whities are too tight this morning. Maybe you didn't eat your Wheaties. Maybe you forgot to take your Flintstone vitamins. I don't know what's going on, but I need you to have emotional regulation. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Have emotional regulation. Stop coming off mute. Stop interrupting me. I'm not going to interrupt you. I don't want you to interrupt me. I'm in the middle of a sentence. Just hold tight. When I stop talking, that means it's your turn. So the question I had was, can you tell me anyone that's a part of the Democratic Party that's registered as a socialist or a communist? And you said Karen Bass, the mayor of LA. So I'm going to look this up really quick. Karen Bass, political party.
Yeah, you could look up affiliation with Cuba, Fidel Castro.
I'm going to finish what I'm saying. So Karen Bass, which
you can't mute in real life, right?
I don't care about what you're saying right now. I'm just trying. Sure. I can't mute in real life.
You can't mute in real life.
And now you're muted again. Good thing we're on TikTok. Because TikTok is saving us from your crash in. Howdy, partner. Holy smokes. Please have emotional regulation. I don't know what's happening, but stop it. So, as I was saying, Karen Bass is actually registered the 43rd mayor of Los Angeles, and she's been the mayor of Los Angeles since 2022. She is a registered member of the Democratic Party. Even looking at her previous role, she was a representative of California 37, and she was also Speaker of the California State Assembly. Her lifelong registration has been of the Democratic Party. So, one, you're wrong. She's not a quote unquote communist. But let's talk about the actual claim that you're making that she is a quote unquote communist. But I do want to make sure that
I keep muting me.
Yeah, I'm just actually clarifying.
It is a two-part conversation, you know that, right?
Yes, I'm clarifying the claim because you gave me something that was wrong. I said,
wrong. You're not looking for the right things.
I said,
you have the computer in front of you. I can tell you what to look for. Karen Bass, 1970.
Stop. I said, give me one member. I said, give me one member of the Democratic Party that's registered as a socialist or a Democrat. You said Karen Bass.
You didn't say registered. You said
communist. I did say that, or communist. Yes, communist.
Yeah, she is a communist. She says it.
I'm not saying that she's not. Can you please let me finish my sentence? I don't know what's happening, but stop it. Stop it. Seriously. Like, if you don't want to be here, just leave. But if you want to be here, like, let's actually have a conversation.
Don't mute me then, dude.
Stop steamrolling and speaking over me. I've already said that if you stop speaking over me,
you're steamrolling. I'm steamrolling.
I've already said that if you don't speak over me, I won't mute you, and we'll go
Just
one
finish,
at a time.
dude.
You're doing the same thing now. Stop. I'm just going to keep muting you because you don't have impulse control. Now, the point that I made is I need to know if there is someone who has been registered as a communist or a socialist. You said Karen Bass, and Karen Bass is not registered as a communist or a socialist. She has no history of that. But now you're making the claim that she has ties to the Communist Party. Cool. We can talk about that. The floor is yours. Can you tell me more about your claim of her being tied to the...
Yeah.
Stop. Can you tell me more? Can you tell me more about your claims that she is connected to the Communist Party?
Are you ready? You're not going to mute me, right? All right, perfect. 1970, Karen Bass. Since you know so much about politics, it amazes me you don't even know who Karen Bass is. She's the mayor of LA, the one that let LA actually burn down to the ground. So she actually went in 1970, she attended Cuba. She went for a mission with the Democratic Socialist of America to actually identify with Fidel Castro in Cuba in the 1970s. She actually was a communist. She actually fought against capitalism because she went to Cuba more than 4 times in the 1970s. So if you're telling me there's a direct person that goes to Cuba, talks to Fidel Castro, and embraces his existence and praises him after he died in 2012 or so, she's a fucking communist. And the sad part, it comes from your party, the Democratic Party. Well, it's a Democratic Socialist Communist Party now.
Okay. You see how I said here?
You actually look for it right now? Are you shocked?
Are you?
That's true.
Stop. You see how I sat here quietly and didn't interrupt you? I expect the same. I expect the same. Now, looking at the information, I looked up what you said, right? So Karen Bass was a part of the committee. It was interaction with members of the organizations were affiliated with the left-wing ideology. Let's see here. 1970, the young activist, Bass traveled to Cuba with Versomos Brigade. Versomos Brigade, I think I'm saying that right.
Yeah, it's brigade. It's the same brigade that threw bombs to America or
I don't
know if I can say that word.
I don't need you to interject. I just want to finish what I'm saying. It's okay. So that's fine. I don't need that. I just want to finish what I'm saying. I didn't interrupt you. I let you say what you had to say. I even let you add the extra stuff on the end. Please stop interrupting me. Like, again, I just need you to be an adult. If you don't want to be here, then leave. If you do want to be here, then be an adult and let's actually talk about this. So, like I said, she went there and they said she was allegedly pro-Cuba, pro-communist. Some reports said that she was the leader of that group during that era. Now, the one thing that I want to call out is that not only has she not been officially connected to any type of communist, any type of communist party, she did eulogize Castro in what year? Please don't interject. I know you were coming off mute. I know you're coming off mute.
Don't get nervous.
Please don't interject.
Go ahead.
I'm not. Stay on mute. Like, seriously. She actually eulogized.
You want people caged here, bro. It doesn't work like that.
You are crashing in again. Hey, I'm sitting here telling you to stop. This is the last time I'm going to say stop. Jay, could you please go back on mute just for a second? I want to finish this conversation with him. This is the last time I'm telling you to stop. She eulogized, who did she eulogize? It wasn't Castro, but she eulogized a member of the political party in Cuba in 2016, somewhere around there, 2016. Now, the one thing that I will say is that she has been on record multiple times stating that she is not a communist. If you take a look at any type of the actual legislation that has been passed while she has been in any type of political party, She has not passed any type of quote unquote pro-communist legislation, and there's no track record
to do that in this country.
There's no track record of her actually doing anything that would classify her as being a communist outside of her traveling there when she was 16 and also eulogizing someone that was a member of the Communist Party. So all of this stacks up to a couple of different things. Number one, we're talking about Karen Bass, who is the mayor of LA, which has nothing to do with the whole of the Democratic Party. We're not talking about federal level politics. We're not talking about state level politics. We're talking about local level politics with the mayor of LA. So that's number one. Number two, there is no record of her being registered as a communist. Number three, there is no open admittance of her saying that she was a communist. And number four, there is nothing that she has passed, no piece of legislation, no nothing within her political career that would represent the ideology of communism. So I land my plane here. Can you give me anything? I land my plane here. Can you give me anything of substance that would verify your point that she was
dude, you've been
a
talking
member
for half an hour, dude. Like, land your fucking plane. The strip is too fucking wide.
Can you give me any type of proof that she was actually a member of the Communist Party? Any type of tangible evidence that she was a member of the Communist Party?
All right, so why would you go to Cuba and support Fidel Castro and actually even work?
Can you give me any type of tangible proof?
Why are you muting?
Can you give me any type of tangible proof that she was a member of the Communist Party?
Are you not going to mute me?
I don't want to hear you pontificate. I want tangible proof.
You don't want to hear my response, but I have to hear your response.
Can you give me any type of tangible proof that she was a member of the Communist Party?
And she celebrated him.
So that's tangible proof that she was a member of the Communist Party.
An American going to Cuba and working for a communist country. And
when did she work for the communist country?
That's enough. That's enough.
When did she work for the communist country?
Oh, in the 1970s. Do you not agree?
Give me the proof.
Dictator's communist
Give me the
country?
proof. Give me the proof that she worked for Cuba. No. I said that she went there. I said she went there at 16 years old. She went there with a group. That's not working for Cuba. Can you give me any type of proof that she actually worked for Cuba?
Are you going to let me talk or mute me?
As long as you can give me proof that she worked for Cuba.
She actually went to Cuba for construction and labor purposes to help the revolutionary regime.
Sure, I'll take that. Can you give me proof?
He's working for them.
Sure, I'll take that. Can you give me proof of that?
Why would an American citizen...
Hey, you made a claim. I want the proof. I'm willing to accept it. Can you give me the proof?
Hey, have a good day, dog. You keep
don't run. Don't run. That's fine. Go ahead, Solid. Listen, I'm going to let Solid speak to you because you don't want to give proof. That's fine. Here, go ahead, Solid. You got it.
I just want the record to show that the toy is already broken.
You keep muting me, dog. You're a little bitch. That's what you are. You keep muting me, dog.
I just want the record to show.
Go ahead, Solid.
I just want the record to show that the toy is already broken. I just want the record to show that.
There's no waste of my time. Have a good...
Yatu Sada. Don't run.
Have a good one, guys.
Don't run.
Not running.
Go ahead, Solid.
I can't believe you're running.
Go ahead. He's not going to stop talking. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, what is diplomacy?
Hey, have a good one, guys.
What is diplomacy?
I knew it was going to happen, Solid. I mean, like the point is that he wanted to spam all the shit that he didn't know, and he just wanted to cry. And so since he wanted to spam and cry, like there was no possibility that he was going to engage. That's what I was trying to say. Just go ahead and go. I knew for a fucking fact that he wasn't going to like add any substance. I even Solid. I said, I accept your claim. Just give me proof.
So I think the biggest issue here is that nobody is like saying that communism is even bad. We're simply saying that the Democrats are not communists.
That's all.
Which is tacitly true. Like it's just a truth that Democrats are in no way communist. They're absolutely capitalist.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Solid, I know you don't have much time, but we got about almost 2.2 thousand people watching here. If you add in like YouTube, there's almost about 3,000 people watching. Tell them about what the cool shit that you're doing.
Yeah, so Wednesday's the first day of class. We're teaching a race and ethnicity class on the Patreon. $5.
I mean, that too, but the big thing. Don't forget the big thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You can tell them that too, but I'm just saying, don't forget the big thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if you're not already in the Patreon, a paid subscriber, then go ahead and do that, because the textbook is being released today on the Patreon for paid subscribers, and the first day of class is this Wednesday at 18:30, from 18:30 to 2000. Eastern time. I'm sorry, 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern time. Please sign up for that. Now, I was an American soldier. I was I was in the Army. 3 years in the reserves, and then I went active duty for 10 years. I was a combat medic and a respiratory therapist, and during this time, I was exposed to a great deal of racism. My first day in Baghdad, I was in Baghdad. I had been in Baghdad for about 3 months. I was working on the trauma team, and then they sent me down to be the combat medic for the scout sniper platoon. My first day setting up my bunk, I went to go get my weapons issue. By the time I came back to my bunk, there was a noose tied out a 550 cord hanging over my bunk. And this is just one example of some of the racism that I experienced while I was an active duty service member. And it's very traumatizing, so much so that the VA pays me for race-based trauma. I've been afforded the opportunity on this app to just kind of get some of this stuff out, kind of talk some of this stuff out, raise awareness about these things that are going on. While I do not support imperialism at all, I've grown a lot since, I joined the Army when I was 17 years old. My mother had to sign the papers to allow me to join, so I didn't even have a fully developed prefrontal cortex. Like my frontal lobe wasn't fully developed. Since I've grown older, I've learned that imperialism is a terrible thing, right? But this type of targeting and victimization of young, impoverished Black boys is a real thing. And then so we experience trauma from combat, and we experience trauma from our supposed brothers and sisters showing racial animus towards us. I was deployed with the 216th Infantry Battalion. This is a battalion of notoriety. They stormed Normandy. Okay, this is a really big battalion. It's gotten a lot of publicity. There's a book written on it called The Good Soldiers, about my deployment. There's a movie where the lead actor is Miles Teller, called Thank You for Your Service. It's based on one of the soldiers from my battalion. The Black soldiers in my battalion have never, and I mean never, been centered in these conversations. And for that reason, I am seeking to put out a mini documentary. I want to do a mini documentary, look at that, about the experiences, where I get to center the experiences and the voices of Black soldiers from the 216th Infantry Battalion. This is on the background, on the screen right now, is the Go Have Fun With Me. If you could follow that link, it's in my bio, it's in my mod's bio, it's in Petty's bio, it's in Maya's bio, it's everywhere. It's in Mima's bio.
Is it okay if I add it to mine?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. Yeah. I would be really appreciative. I would love to. So I would love some support. Okay, we have a goal of $25,000 to try and get this mini doc made. Listen, if they can do a mini documentary vilifying Somali people, you know what I'm saying? And that gain a whole bunch of notoriety, something wholly negative, so something that is purposed to defame and demonize and vilify an entire group of Black immigrants, and people don't have any problem putting their money behind that, I don't see why we can't put a lot of money towards something that's going to be positive and about healing. I just really think that there's too much money that backs terrible behavior that is dedicated to tearing down political opposition, that is dedicated to maintaining a hierarchy of subjugation and oppression in the United States. Like there's so much, right? Like, let me put this in perspective. Trayvon Martin was unalived by a man named George Zimmerman, right? There was so much support behind the man for unaliving a teenage Black boy, right? That they were able to auction off the pew pew that took the life of Trayvon Martin for $250,000. That's $250,000 they spent on a racist ass novelty item. Right? If people will put so much support behind a woman calling a 5-year-old Black boy the hard R on a playground, I don't see why we can't pump our money behind something that is going to be about healing, something that's going to be about shedding light on a real bad problem. That is going to uplift the victims of these problems. And so I just request that you think about what I'm saying from that perspective. Okay. That's all I have. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody. I just think that is so vile that I'm in the middle of talking about Black soldiers suffering racism, and somebody in the comments would say, pay your child support. I don't have child support. All of my children live with me.
It was a troll. It was a troll.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying.
Well, that's the best that they have.
Well, not only that, but like, listen, the type of people that we're up against see fit to behave like that while you're talking about undoing the demonization of Black people. I'm not for fascism, right? But in the conservative mind, right? Soldiers are supposed to be valorous, honored, supposed to be held up, propped up, raised up, treated like heroes. And I'm in the middle of talking about taking what conservative minds would call heroes and saying, let's do something for them. Do you see how far we've gotten? This is why stuff like this is important, because the Overton window has shifted so far to the right that the things that were once sacred don't even matter no more they don't matter anymore as long as some sort of violence, intellectual or otherwise, is being executed against political opponents. This is why I just don't understand. I simply don't understand when the left is labeled terriers.
You say terrorists. We say all the words here solid except the name of drugs.
Okay. Terrorists. When the left is demonized and labeled as terrorists, or the left is labeled as violent or intolerant, I simply can't conceptualize that. I simply cannot. Not when there was a pardon for 15,000 insurrectionists. I simply can't conceptualize it. But for that reason, any work that is done to try and combat that, I really pray for, I really hope for support. I really hope that we get some support on this. Thank you very much for having me up, Santana. All power to all the people.
Wait. Before you go, I'll just call out and Solid. I know we're still working on the details. I want to do what I can to help push this initiative. And so I'll just say for everyone that's still watching, stay tuned, because Solid and I are going to be doing something together to help make sure that we get this done. I think it's a great initiative, a great effort. I think is absolutely necessary. So I'm going to do whatever I can do to help. So lock in. Anyway, go ahead, Solid.
I have no idea what Santana is talking about. But I'm very appreciative. He's a good friend of mine. I really appreciate you, Santana.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you as well. All power to all the people except for Ralph. Yeah, you know what? I'm an actual commie. Why don't? Never mind. All power to all the people except for
that
Ralph.
shit drives me crazy. They go to white people to talk about black people shit. They go to someone who's not a communist to talk about communists. What the fuck are we doing? Anyway, go ahead.
What are we doing? Why not get it from the horse's mouth?
I don't understand why they do it. I don't understand.
Hey, can I ask the guest a question?
Solid, you got time?
Let's put a 5 on it.
It's got to be really quick. Really quick, Jay.
Yeah, host, I think the issue that many people are having with the conversation that there's a systemic disadvantage that non-white people have in our society, and that the white people.
You said what?
If I understand
Did I hear
correctly,
you right that you said that there's a systemic disadvantage that
for white people
have in society? No,
I'm sorry, black. I meant non-white people. Non-white people.
He said white people. Okay, non-white people.
Non-white.
He said non-white people. Yeah.
So respectfully, host and guest, I think the argument, that's the argument that's being made. But I think the problem that white people have is that it's like how can you have a just society if you blame someone for a crime they had nothing to do with? So yes,
but you don't have nothing to do with it.
Right. Well, then you're saying, oh, we're in the system, so we have something to do with it. Therefore, we should pay. So I don't believe myself you can have a just society if somebody's paying for a crime they didn't commit.
So
and that's all I really have to say.
This idea that there are any white people that are non-complicit is just a falsehood.
Look, I go to work. Many of my bosses are non-white. Okay, I've had, I work for many non-white people. The average person is going to work and doing their thing, and you're coming along and saying you're in the system and you're part of it, and it just doesn't resonate. I'm sorry.
I hear you, Jay. I'm allergic to tuna fish. If you eat a tuna salad sandwich in front of me and I have an allergic reaction, did you do it on purpose?
Did I do what on purpose?
Did you give me anaphylaxis on purpose?
So you're basically saying you don't like the way white people smell.
Okay.
Wow. That was. I thought. Listen, if you wasted my time like that,
I'm just kidding around. I know you meant it figuratively, not literally. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
This is an analogy. I'm allergic to tuna. If you eat a tuna sandwich in front of me and I go into anaphylaxis, is that on purpose?
Okay, for argument's sake, no, it's not. Not on purpose.
No, it wasn't on purpose. Am I still in anaphylaxis?
Yes.
Okay. Class starts on Wednesday. All you need to know is that I literally teach classes on this. Not from the horse's mouth, right? Learning about white supremacy from white people who maintain white supremacy by lying it just doesn't make any sense to me. It literally doesn't make any sense.
Well, ultimately, the resolution that this line of thinking is promoting is reparations and payment for suffering. Correct?
No, I don't believe in reparations.
Okay.
I believe in revolution. So listen, again, this is everything that you. I guarantee you don't really know anything about the true left. I guarantee you don't really know anything about race, racism, how it works. None of the above. I guarantee you've been given some weird ass that looks delicious, some weird ass rendition of what these systems and structures are from people who benefit from inequity. Literally, right-wing think tanks spend millions of dollars, and I'm talking about the Koch brothers, Foster Fries, the Mercers, right, have pumped millions of dollars into misinformation campaigns because they want the Gini coefficient to be high. They want inequity. They benefit from having an army of desperate workers that cannot speak up for themselves, that cannot advocate for themselves, that don't have the words or the knowledge to articulate their plight in the first place, and are dismissed every time they say that something's going on. When we deny systemic oppression and the working class's participation in that oppression, when we deny privileged groups participation in that oppression, all we're doing is we're saying that Black people are lazy and stupid. You're saying that Black people are either too lazy to do anything about their oppression, which is like, then why the fuck are they speaking up? Or you're saying that Black people are too stupid to accurately describe what their plight is. And neither of those is the case. Black people are neither stupid nor lazy. All power to all the people except for Ralph. Do something good for your neighbor. Ubuntu, viva la raza, throw more bricks.
Throw more bricks. And just FYI, Justin, if you want to continue that conversation, Solid goes live daily. You can give him a follow. Everyone else, you can give Solid a follow. He goes live all the time. Like he said, he not only that, he actually teaches classes. He actually does the work off the app. And that's why when I talk about like the issue that I have with people who come up here and say that they want revolution, but they don't have a plan, I get pissed off because I know actual people with actual plans to get shit done. Sorry. Like that's why the shit pisses me off, is because you guys cosplay who they really are. Like that's my biggest problem with people who pretend to like be about that. You are literally cosplaying the real life of people doing the shit. Give me 2 seconds. Let me say thank you to a couple of people and then we can pick back up. Debbie's in the chat for John. John sent a $20 donation saying, what up? On your trip, you should check out the Proof of G Pod on YouTube. Garrick Stevenson, your kids will be poorer than you, talks about growing wealth, the growing wealth disparity and the impeding impacts. The slope of an uphill battle gets steeper as the wealth transfers to the rich accelerates. Like the fucking W's. I might actually have to check that out because I talk about that a lot. W's in the chat for Cousin Jesse. What up, Cousin Jesse? Who sent a $5 donation saying, damn, if being loud and wrong was a person, just Jay, take a step back, get out your ego and fifis, take a pen and paper, write paper out, write down what Santana saying because you're wrong and misinformed, effing goofy. Damn, because Jesse W was in the chat. W was in chat for Miss Torres for the $2 donation saying, crazy how he's concerned about the salary of tax workers while supporting the president who literally trying to take $10 billion from $10 billion from Americans, people with a lawsuit against the government, which is more than the actual wealth, while reducing benefits for those Americans. Facts. That was in chat for Rachel for the $5 donation saying, caller doesn't know the drug trial witness because they traffic drugs too. He's obsessed with the whistleblower in Minnesota though. Does he know the people become whistleblowers? Like I think he's just, letting that fly. That was in the chat for Lydia. Lydia sent a $2 donation saying, tell this guy nobody, and I mean nobody, gives a F about what happened in 1970s. That was 56 years ago. Also, he's a coward on a fake account. W's in the chat. Yeah, like he crashed out and just ran. It was weird. W's in the chat for Joe, who sent a $5 donation saying, why does he believe that taxing billionaires won't fix the problem, but gutting healthcare services for millions of ordinary Americans will solve our problems? Seems like some weird fifis in his tum-tum. Big facts. W's in the chat for Joe, who sent another 5, said, what does the guest expect to quote see from the clean energy legislation that Biden signed? That was what was he expecting? That was to build a windmill on his front lawn. Ain't no fucking way. That was in chat for Joe, who sent another $5 donation saying, since clearly bro just learned about communism, imagine how scared he'll be when he learns about fascism. What a little baby. You know what, Joe, I'm going to push back on that. I'm willing to believe that he knows about fascism and he fucking loves it. That was in chat for Lynn for the $5. 1 second. I'm convinced that's TikTok that's causing the popping, because before I got on Studio, there was another TikTok update. I swear, every time they fucking update Studio, something else happens. And Devin's in the chat for land for the $5 donation, saying for the daily battle of the purposely evil. Y'all, Devin's in chat for J Hop. What up, J Hop? Who sent a $5 donation saying grown man crying over being muted and fries me. They're all such fucking snowflakes. And if you didn't crash out, then I wouldn't mute. Like, Jay has been up here this whole time and I hadn't had to mute him because he has impulse controlling, not trolls. W's in the chat for Feisty, who sent a $10 super chat to say, report today, the war has cost over $1 trillion so far. I got to look that up. That's fucking wild. W's in the chat for Megan. Hey, Megan, who sent a $5 super chat to say, why does MAGA still follow DJT when he pardoned the former president of Honduras after he said he wanted to solve the drug write-up? Oh, I can't say that part. And Dubs in chat, Megan. Dubs in chat for Cordovo, who sent a $5 super chat to say, how can she be the mayor of a town that burned to the ground? MAGA logic, no work so good. What's this caller thoughts on Trump when it was a Democrat prior to 2016? I guess we'll never know. And last but not least, W's in the chat for Victoria for the $1.99 super chat to say, Trump talked to Putin, so is he pro-Russia? Facts. Fucking facts. Dubs in chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, 1.3 thousand people hanging out. Look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button, turn on the notifications. We go live all the time. And we're trying to make it to 200,000 followers. We only got 38 new followers on the stream. So please, please, please look up here, hit that follow button, turn on notifications. Make sure if you're over on YouTube, you hit that thumbs up. It'll push the VOD out more, and make sure you're subscribing over on YouTube. Last but not least, guys, can we please knock out the donuts? That's the daily gift goal. Can we please, please, please knock out the donuts? All right, Jay, I know you and I have been talking for a while. We went down a rabbit hole. We talked about like the actual, taxes, the fraud, the like how the Inflation Reduction Act occurred, like the fact that Donald Trump added so much to the national debt. I want to kind of like recenter and bring it back home. The premise that you are supporting Donald Trump off of him doing anything beneficial, seems like he has already harmed American citizens in so many ways. Can we recenter this and you give me like one positive thing that he's done to benefit everyday Americans since coming back in power?
You know, a lot of MAGA people, they voted for Trump. They're not, they're actually, a lot of people are unhappy with his performance, but felt forced to vote for him due to the previous administration's performance.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about voting for him. I'm not talking about the previous administration. I don't care about any of that. I don't hold you for why you quote unquote voted for him. That means nothing to me. That was in 2024. I want to talk about today. Can you tell me what has he done today that has benefited everyday Americans tangibly, like tangible benefits?
It's hard to say at this moment in time if any of his actions have a tangible benefit. It's like a wait and see.
Okay, but his actions have had tangible harms. So I can quantify the tangible harms since having Donald Trump back in power, and I can like clearly articulate all the negative things that have occurred since Donald Trump has been back in power. Would it be fair to say, since you can't name any of the things that he's done that's positively benefited Americans, and I can name a laundry list of things that he's done that's negatively benefited? I think it's positive that Hexit's inviting all the people that were terminated for a refusal to take the jab back into service, and they're offering them back pay. That's very positive. Don't you think? It's not positive. They're trying to, that's a concerted effort to try to bolster the military because they don't have the numbers. If you take that in a silo, sure, that's a win. But you picked the wrong thing to talk about, because I did a complete video and breakdown of what that really consists of. That's a multi-factor thing. Number one, they passed a piece of legislation at the end of 2025 that allows auto enrollment into selective services. Hey, that was in the chat. Thank you for the galaxy. And the auto auto enrollment into selective services is now for people that's from the ages of 18 to 25, meaning you don't even have to register for the draft anymore. You're automatically going to be entered. Number two, they increased the enlistment age from 32 or from 30, I think it's like 34 through 42. Because they need to get more people in the United States military. They also had that 1 year set up to be able to return to the United States military. If you refuse the COVID vaccine, you could return, and they had a 1 year cap. They didn't get enough people to sign up and want to rejoin the military, so they extended it for another year. They actually not only said, oh, you're going to get back pay, but you can sign a shorter contract. You'll get this, that, and the third. They threw in a bunch of additional incentives because they didn't have people actually saying they want to come back to the United States military. 36 to 42, got it. But I say all that to say, the reason why they did all of that is because they're trying to pump more people into the United States military, and people just aren't doing it.
Okay.
So can you give me, let me give you an example. Okay. So Donald Trump passed the One Big Beautiful Bill, right? And with the passing of the One Big Beautiful Bill, there's been massive cuts to Medicaid. And since there's been massive cuts to Medicaid, there's been a collapse of rural hospitals. And the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, has estimated that as of May of 2016, about 17 million Americans have lost access to their health care coverage. And by the end of 2026, we're on track for 446 rural hospitals to actually collapse and close. If those 466 rural hospitals close, that's a total of 69,000 beds that'll, they'll lose access to, which they serve 6.6 million patients annually in those rural areas, and they employ approximately 275,000 staffers. That's a tangible thing that Donald Trump has done by implementing the OBBB, One Big Beautiful Bill, that has negatively impacted the American citizens. Now, can you give me the inverse? Can you give me something that he has done that has positively impacted the American citizens?
Well, like I said, I was able to get some write-offs, and I got
No, not you,
back.
not you. We're not talking about you, Jay. I don't know you personally. I didn't state anything with the negative thing that I just gave. I didn't talk about myself at all. I talked about what's happening with America due to the policies that he implemented. Don't take it personal.
A lot of what he's doing is a wait and see.
That's not true. You can't say a lot of what he's doing is a wait and see when I can tell you, I can give you tangible proof that the things that he's done has already harmed people. There's no wait and see when there's actual harm that's been caused.
Okay, fair enough. I can't really answer, where the benefit is going to be. It takes time to see how policies work themselves out.
You keep saying that, but like we already have.
At the time,
wait, he has a policy. No, Jay, you're running from it. He's already passed a policy, and we've seen how the policy has already impacted people. Again, 17 million Americans have lost access to their health care coverage due to the cuts to Medicaid, and now 466 rural hospitals are on track to actually close by the end of the year, which will impact 6.6 million patients and 275,000 jobs. So you're saying that it takes time, but it's already happened.
I have a different take on healthcare than many people. Like, I think the country.
I don't care about your take on healthcare. I'm only talking about the actual thing. Donald Trump did a thing, and there's been results from the thing. I'm telling you, Donald Trump did a thing. Wait, listen to me. Maybe this will help. Donald Trump did a thing, and the thing that he did was bad. This was the thing, and this is why it's bad. Can you give me a thing that Donald Trump did a thing, and it was good?
You're saying that less hospitals is bad. That's your argument, correct?
446 rural area hospitals closing, which would eliminate 69,000 beds. Then they serve 6.6 million patients, and they employ 275,000 people. Yes, that's bad. When you no longer have the access to drive 10 to 15 minutes to get to a hospital, when you have to drive 45 minutes to get to a hospital, yes, that's bad.
I mean, you know, these numbers you're citing, they sound good on a TikTok live, but you really have to
it's
look
not
at
about
which
TikTok
hospital.
Live. It's from the Congressional Budget Office. It's from the CBO.
Right, but you have to look at which hospitals, were they being utilized? Were they really needed? I mean, why does America need so much hospitalization?
Wait, why is it important to have hospitals in rural areas?
Did all the hospitals in all the rural
Can you
areas
answer the
need
question?
service?
Can you answer the question? Why is it important to have hospitals in rural areas?
The same reason why it's important to have hospitals in urban areas, because people may need medical service.
Perfect.
Assistance.
Now, let's follow-up question for you. Rural areas, which political affiliation do they usually align with?
Usually Republicans, actually, red states.
Perfect. So if these are hospitals, not in cities, but in rural areas, and 446 hospitals in those rural areas that actually provide service to Republican voters are set to close, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing for the Republican Party?
Once again,
no,
you know,
direct question. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't think that's a yes or no.
No, I didn't say yes or no. I didn't say yes or no. That's not a yes or no question. I'm saying, do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing that 446 hospitals that serve the rural areas where the majority of people vote Republican and have powered Donald Trump to office, that they are about to lose access to their local hospitals? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Are you stating like exactly what's happening? Like they're losing all their access to their local hospitals, or some hospitals are losing some
446 hospitals are set to close by the end of the year because of the cuts to Medicaid, and there's already been a closure of almost about 200 some odd rural hospitals.
Yeah, but you're employing the same kind of like rhetoric as you did with like the environmental protection stuff that Biden did. Like, because you're throwing like numbers out there that are very nebulous that nobody really understands or knows.
No, just because you don't understand and know it doesn't mean that like it's not a thing. Again, this came from the Congressional Budget Office, like the CBO. They're literally the people. They're literally the people who's in charge of tracking the implications of passing legislation for the government. This is literally what they do. The CBO is a government entity that tracks the impact of government policies. This has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, and they're doing a great job. I got it. Okay,
this came from Donald Trump's administration.
Okay, it's a bad thing.
Donald Trump administration is the one that put this information out.
Right. You know the number that
So you're admitting that it's a bad thing, right?
Okay, let's say it is, even though like, I think that's more of a conversation. I think that's a spreadsheet question where you sit down.
If you're admitting that it's a bad thing, then one last question, and then you can say whatever you got. Why does Donald Trump want to kill his constituents?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, we do understand that's what's happening, though, right?
I don't know, but he has my vote. I don't know. I still support him.
But we understand that's what's happening, right? He's literally killing his constituents.
You're being silly right now. You're being silly.
How?
I just think that you're not really talking about which hospitals are losing their funding, if they were necessary, what the backstory is.
Oh, okay.
You're just citing some numbers.
No. You've been doing this the entire time. You've been saying, well, you're just saying this, you're just saying that. And I'm not just saying anything. I'm telling you the Congressional Budget Office, whose job it is to look at the impacts of the impact of legislation passed, is saying these are the tangible things that have happened. And also, these are the things that are projected to happen by the end of the year. They're not projecting
Santana,
this.
You might be right. I'm not saying you're right, you're wrong. I mean, Bill Gates wrote a book on how to lie with the statistics. I mean, it's very easy to use a bunch of numbers and just create any story you want.
Can you give me any type of reason why I should not accept the Congressional Budget's Office, not only the tangible information that they listed out, which as of May of this year, there's been 17 million Americans that have lost access to the healthcare coverage, and there's been about 200 some odd hospitals that are already closed with a completion of 446 by the end of 2026.
I'm going to look up right now for you if we've seen an uptick in mortality. That's a good question. Did actually people lose their lives as a result of that? Let's see if mortality increased. Would you like us to research that?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay,
sure. I'm going to make a claim, and I can back this claim up as well. Let me know when you're ready for me to do this. Donald Trump is trying to kill white people.
Got it.
That's my claim. W's in the chat for Taraji for the $2 donation saying Jay is making me lose brain cells. I get it.
Well, actually, speaking about losing brain cells, my
W's in the chat for just Deb.
Okay, the age-adjusted rate
W's in the chat. Give me a second. W's in the chat for just Devin for the $2 donation saying, my rural PA county has only one hospital that might close soon thanks to Trump's cuts. This means that that where I live, I have to travel 20 to 40 miles to get to a hospital in nearby counties. And that's like the big thing. That's the big thing. With removing these hospitals out of these rural areas, it increases the travel time to get to those hospitals, which causes a higher likelihood of death. Deb's in the chat for Abby for the $5 donation saying, my younger brother is disabled and lives in a group home. The hospital closest to him is one of the ones closing. The distance he has to travel to get to the hospital will double, and it could make the difference between life or death for him and his housemates. Exactly. Deb's in the chat for Abby. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. Santana speaks for you. It's the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. All right, you were about to say something, Jay?
Yes, Santana, just a 3-minute heads up. My phone's almost running out of batteries, but just a heads up. So I looked up the overall rate of mortality. It's flat to declining, so that's good.
Where are you getting that from?
Just a general search.
Yeah, I have no interest in general searches. I've been citing my source specifically for everything that I've claimed. Can you give me the specific source where you looked this up, please?
ChatGPT. Okay,
that's not a specific source. So like how I cited the Congressional Budget Office, or how I've cited like the CDC, or I cite like where any of the other information is being pulled from, I'm giving you the specific source. So if you make the decision to go look for it yourself, or if someone who's watching the live, if they make the decision to go look for it themselves, then they can find it. Can you give me not ChatGPT, but the specific source as far as where I can find this information?
I'm going to try to locate the sources that mortality is declining. Drug overdoses have fallen by like 90,000. Cancer deaths.
That has nothing to do with the claim. The claim is that you're saying that you want to see if there's a correlation between the rural hospitals closing and the mortality rate increasing. FYI, not only do you need not only do you need a source, but what you would want to look at is the mortality rate for rural areas, because we're talking about hospitals closing in rural areas. So you will want to look for the mortality rate in rural areas, not for the entire country.
I'm going to do a little more research to see if this claim is correct, that mortality is actually declining despite the closure of all these hospitals.
I didn't make the claim, but that's what you're trying to disprove. Yeah, sure.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to get back to you because my phone's at 3% now, but thanks for letting me on your show. I'll do a little research and then I'll get back on sooner or later.
Sure. All right. You can come back.
Thank you, Santana.
Yep, thank you. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse, who sent a $5 donation saying, is Just Jay anti-intellectual? It seems like the audience, to the audience that whenever Santana can bring up a point and back it up with facts and data, you can't do the same. You say, nuh-uh, or what about? You're not equipped for the conversation, bro. God damn, cousin Jesse. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse. Guys, if anyone else likes to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Also, look up at the top. If you see the word follow, that means you're not following me. Hit that follow button. Hit that follow button. We're on our way to 200,000 followers. We have a bunch of really cool shit lined up. So please, please, please hit that follow button. And last but not least, I was really hoping to lay out my case why I say Donald Trump is trying to kill white people. If there's a Trump supporter that disagrees with the statement that Donald Trump is trying to kill white people, then get up here. I can prove it. I literally can prove it. That's my claim. If you're a Trump supporter and you're white and you think that I'm lying or I'm wrong, get up here. Chat, I don't think they can come up. I don't think they'll come up. I literally, like, looking at the numbers, it absolutely hit me. You said, Santana, don't speak for me. That's what Noah said. Hey, Noah, get up here then, bub. I'm going to send you a request. If I don't speak for you, that's cool. I'm going to mute you. And now you can't speak for yourself. So either you're going to come up here and speak for yourself, or I'm just going to continue to speak for you. Says Santana, I'm 67 years old, white, and I absolutely believe you're correct. We love you, Santana. I love you as well. Like, so I'll just tell people, like, this isn't a claim that I was just like, oh, this is a thing. Like, this is a claim that I just realized while looking at the information and the numbers. And I really hope a Trump supporter comes up and disagrees, because God damn it, I want to tell it. No, it's Becky 13. Just give me a minute. I'm hoping someone will come up here to argue with me, but I'm going to tell you why I say that. What's the claim? The claim is Donald Trump is trying to kill white people. I can prove it. I can prove it. If you disagree with the statement that Donald Trump is actively trying to kill white people, get up here. All right, fuck it. They're not going to come up. All right. So let me lay this down, because it all just clicked for me. Right. So the reason why I say he's trying to kill white people is because based off of what we just said, right? The One Big Beautiful Bill was, oh, fuck. W's in the chat for Wendy for the $50 YouTube super chat. Fucking W's in the chat for Wendy. Wendy just sent the love, then sent a message. Wendy, what up? Holy shit, guys. W's in the chat for Wendy for the $50 YouTube super chat. Big W's, big W's. Again, if anyone would like to support the live, especially because if anyone didn't hear me, we're going to be traveling this week. Myself and management, I'm so happy that she's coming with me this time. But I got some really cool shit that's happening. So the live schedule is going to be a little bit different. We're not doing late nights this week. But if you want to support the travel or whatever, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You over on YouTube. You can send a super chat. I will read that out. We are paying for all the travel and the shit that we're doing, but it's going to be worth it. And as soon as I can tell you guys what we're doing, I will lay that out. Now, the reason why I say that is it just hit me. Thank you for the cake. It just hit me because, like I stated, Donald Trump passed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which took 17 million Americans off of health care, but it also had the byproduct of having about 446 rural hospitals closed down. And I mentioned that annually those 446 hospitals actually serve about 6.6 million people, right? And rural areas are predominantly red areas, and the red areas or most Republicans, the people that make up the Republican Party, actually or the people that make up the majority of both parties are white people. But overwhelmingly, if you take a look at what the vote breakdown was for Donald Trump in 2020, 2024. Let me get this up here on the screen. Where the fuck is that? Where they at, though? Hold on. Dang it. Where they at, though? Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go. Come a chameleon. All right. So the breakdown that occurred under Jimothy in the 2024 presidential election. Boom. 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 Right? Overwhelmingly, if you take a look at who voted for Trump, white men, 60% of white men that voted for Donald Trump, and 53% of white women that voted for Donald Trump, right? And so taking a look at the staggering amount of people that voted, the complete voter base of Donald Trump is made up of white men and white women, right? There's no one requesting on YouTube. But the point that I'm getting across is understanding that the majority of white people vote Republican. The majority of Republicans fall within rural areas. The rural areas are where the hospitals are closing, having closing hospitals and lack of access to health care. And also the lack of vaccines that are being provided now since they're anti-vax. The fact that in 2025 to 2026, there's been there's no one. In 2025 and 2026, there's been 48 measles outbreaks. If you combine that with in 2025, there were 2,228 measles cases total, and there's an additional 1,842 just this year. All of these things combined to there's going to be a massive impact of people who have a lack of access to healthcare, which will cause additional fatalities. And the people that live in those rural areas are going to be overwhelmingly negatively impacted. And those rural areas are majorly comprised of white people, which is Donald Trump's voter base, i.e. Donald Trump's trying to kill white people and the people that vote for him. Does anybody disagree with anything that I said? Only the poor ones. Yeah. I will say that it is a hypothesis, but I think the numbers, I think there's a direct correlation. I don't think there's a correlation causation. I think there's a direct correlation. And I think that if we take a look at the trends, there's going to be a direct through line. And I think this is going to be like tangible really soon. So we'll see. We'll see. Where are we at? We're at 2.5 hours. Okay. Look, guys, I'm going to hop off here. And the reason being is because I was going to do a shorter live this morning and try to get back later. I got like some stuff that I have to do to get prepared for traveling. And the thing about traveling is not only do I have to pack my clothes and all this other stuff, but I have to pack up equipment. And I also have to like prep with a couple of things that I have to do. So I'm going to call it here for now and hop off, but I will be back possibly back later this evening. I'm saying that I feel pretty decent about rejoining this evening, but I don't want to say it's 100%. I would actually, that would be kind of messed up if I said I will be back for sure. And then I, for some reason, don't come back. Debbie's in chat for Reaper, who just hit a 140 stream streak over on Twitch. fucking W's in the chat. But yeah, I'll try to be back this evening. And hopefully we'll be able to get some more debates in. But I will keep you guys posted. So anywho, let us skedaddle.
You stepped in a box, now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats and get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit.
Hey, W's in the chat for the chat. W's in the chat for the chat. It was an interesting morning. Like we had some crash outs. Hey, W's in the chat, Nisa. We had the ability to show MAGA that we don't really give a fuck about their feelings. We only care about facts. We got Solid to come up here and be able to talk about communism for a few moments. It was an interesting morning. I'm gonna get some stuff taken care of, and hopefully I'll be back later this evening. I will keep you all updated. If not, I will miss you, so I'm gonna try to be here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me this morning. Thank you for being so amazing. Thank you for all the likes, gifts, the taps, the shares. Thank you all for being just you. I love you. Thank you for everything. And as always,